second meeting of the season between these two teams. The first in Columbus on January 23rd, a 74-66 Ohio State win. Maryland short-handed, didn't have Green McDaniel. Cheyenne Sellers either did not play in that game. They are pumped to have a second chance. They go inside to Kubik on the first look.
Yeah, no question about it, and that's man-to-man defense from Ohio State, and that is something that Kevin McGuff said could not happen very often. The second chance opportunities from Maryland. He said transition offense that Maryland likes to push pace. We've got to tone that down, but we can't give them extra possessions and extra cracks at it, especially right there in front of the rim. Kubik paid it off.
Asia Petty also playing outstanding basketball, the best of her season at this point right now here in early March. They'll go inside 5 to shoot. It's Petty with the turnaround jumper, doesn't go.
We went late into that shot clock. Maryland defensively taking away those gaps that Ohio State likes to get into, especially at the elbows.
Cheyenne Sellers dials up and drains a 3 to start things off for her game.
Well, how about that? What did we just say, right? She had 21 of her 25 points in the win at Indiana. Maryland 10-1 on the road this season in the conference. And for her to come out and knock in her first triple of the game, big-time stuff.
Big-time stuff from the freshman Jelani Cambridge with a three-point play opportunity. She is fearless.
We're going back to the previous sequence. Look right here, Cheyenne Sellers just repositions and relocates herself to splash in that triple from range for Maryland. But Jelani Cambridge is just such a special talent. Kevin McGuff has said, you know, she possesses so much speed, but her skill level and is so wise beyond her years with that skill set, it's just most impressive.
Coming off a career-high 33 points as Kayleen Smykel tries to steamroll to the rim. An offensive rebound for Dulcie doesn't go. Smykel trying to force it up. And she is fouled. That's another thing Coach McGuff talked to us about. We have to keep them off the offensive glass.
Right, and it just exactly. That was their first bucket, was off of an offensive rebound. And how many touches did Maryland just get right there? Although they didn't finish the play, they got a foul out of it. But that was the third touch.
Maryland already 3 offensive rebounds. They're second in the Big Ten in offensive rebound percentage. Sure, Smykel blocked inside. Was that McMahon getting a piece as Cambridge flies out of the picture? And Sellers knocks in another.
Cheyenne Sellers means business. Senior Shy, the do-it-all player for the Terps. Had a knee injury, kept her out of a couple of games right after Bree McDaniel went down with that ACL, so Maryland had to recalibrate themselves in a lot of ways.
Jelani Cambridge looking to answer back. That is reined in by Sellers.
Here's the tempo. Let's see what Maryland gets into early in their quarter-court offense.
Sellers looking for the dish inside. Dulcie leaps into the paint, can't get it to fall, and gathered up by McMahon.
Well, Brenda Freese told us at practice, she said, you know, Ohio State, they love to blitz, they love to double team.
They can knock down the 3, which they have been doing of late, back-to-back games of double-figure 3s. Unusual for this team that struggled for the last couple of weeks.
Well, Kevin McGuff said he wants to see Taylor Theory stay more aggressive-minded and on both sides, not just with getting more shots up and hunting more touches for herself. She'll pass it first before she'll take shots for the team, and he wants her to shoot it a little more.
Maryland, the team second in the nation in free throw attempts per game. A huge part of their offense comes to the free throw line, and an opportunity here for Smykel.
Yeah, and the last time these two teams met, Brenda Freese told us today after practice, she said, we left 13 points on the board from the free throw line. And Cheyenne Sellers did not play in the game against Ohio State previously this season, and she is an over 80% shooter from the line.
You wish you could have her on the floor for that. She's second all-time program history in career free throw percentage. That next one is good. Here's Cambridge, the freshman point guard, #3 ranked recruit in the country, and living up to those expectations. Someone making a case for herself as a Big Ten freshman of the year. That time that shot no good from Theory.
Yeah, no question about it. Jelani Cambridge, 3-time winner at Montverde High School in a row. She had just championship acumen coming in here to Ohio State and told us today that this is the best decision she ever made in her life to be a Buckeye. And that's a big statement from the freshman.
She's feeling good. Cheyenne Sellers feeling good. There's this pep to her step that you can see right now. And Coach Freeze says she's only about 75% healthy at this point in the season, but you would not know it by her numbers here. Looking inside, Kubek on a brilliant baseline out of bounds play.
Because of an ankle injury in this game yet again, but they're finding a way.
Oh, McMahon with the 3 in response.
That was a moon ball and held it up, loving basketball style for emphasis with the gooseneck. Oh my. Cody McMahon has added that to her game this year, and you've got to respect her and shake her hand for putting in that work.
McMahon, her best 3-point shooting season, but Christy, her last 2 games, 7 of 10 from the field. Tibiasu there will misfire, but clearly McMahon feeling it right now with her shooting touch.
She's a fan of the Grinch that stole Christmas, is why she wears those shoes for every game, but oh boy.
Offensive foul. Mir McLean knew exactly where to set her feet.
That's one thing about Cody McMahon. You know when she puts the ball on the deck for a straight line drive, she's going to spin back to the middle, up the basket line, and right there, Mir McLean just takes one for the team and met her with anticipation. And that was just great.
That's her second foul. That's significant, not even midway through the first quarter. Cambridge in the passing lane there, but it's something that has tended to happen with McMahon in games this season, second in the Big Ten in offensive fouls. Brenda Freeze recently reaching 600 wins for her career at Maryland in her 23rd season. This is her 20th 20-win season. Remarkable. Kubek, no good there. One of the best rebounding guards is Cambridge, but it goes right to Schmeichel, and she'll be shooting too. Both these teams, Christy, so active right now.
Yeah, but right now it's Maryland getting what they want on the offensive glass. And that was exactly what Kevin McGuff was warning his team about. Shot goes up by the Terps, and then right to the basketball, or the yellow jerseys. Jelani Cambridge couldn't corral that one and gets out of bounds. Michael gets tagged on the way up for the second chance.
That's already 4 offensive rebounds for Maryland there. Fortuitous landing of the basketball right into Schmeichel. She goes 2 for 2, also an excellent free throw shooter herself.
You were talking about Brenda Freeze and those 600 wins. 20 of her 22 seasons that she spent here at Maryland, they have made it to the NCAA tournament. I mean, they've gone short-handed to the Final Four 3 times, obviously winning it in 2006 in Boston with that group, with Christy Tolliver's heroics and that overtime win over Duke.
On the other sideline, Kevin McGuff, last year's Big Ten Coach of the Year in his 12th season leading the Buckeyes. Still feels like his team hasn't found that ceiling, and he said that's actually a good thing even at this point in the season.
No, absolutely. You're always evolving and growing and learning more about your team, but he said the personality of his team is just to play fast, and you do that with defense. You know that Kevin McGuff takes a lot of pride on that side of the floor.
Look at the length of Christina Delsey being so disruptive here. 4 seconds to shoot for Madison Green, the 6th-year player. It is Theory launching and canning a 3 for the Buckeyes.
Loves the same spot, so it's still hot in that corner for Taylor Theory, the do-it-all glue player for Ohio State. She has just been magnificent for the team, and Kevin McGuff says she just doesn't make mistakes. She's just a steady player. She's very cerebral, and that's why he kind of wants her to play outside of that. Just make some bold-minded, aggressive decisions with the basketball.
Unselfish, but risk-averse, maybe wanting some more of the latter. Sarah Tibiasu looking to Sellers, faces up. No good from 3 that time. Asia Petty able to poke it up.
There's the transition, Maryland taking the paint away. Jelani Cambridge got a piece of the paint, trying to spray it out.
Sprinting all over the floor. Too strong from 3 though.
Jelani Cambridge said, hey, a lot of teams are playing me under the screens, but she says she's taking pride in knocking in some 3s, although she missed that last one.
Sellers so crafty in drawing.
Well, she shoots 37% from range as well. I mean, she has a multifaceted skill set, and those 3s are going in clean for Senior Shy right now. And she just passed Dina Tate, who held that record at number 4 in assists for years. if you know the All-American Dina Tate and what she had in her bag, it was a deep bag that Dina Tate possessed. And to have Cheyenne Sellers not only be a staunch defender, but she came in as a freshman for Maryland, but the way that she has added to her skill set over the course of her 4-year career has really been exceptional to watch.
Two-time first-team All-Big Ten. Her freshman season, as you mentioned, the Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year. Made a splash from the very first time she put on a Maryland jersey, but also, Christy, defined by her spirit, her competitiveness. We saw that most recently against Maryland with those 21 fourth-quarter points.
Yeah, just phenomenal leader for the team, and just hated to be out those 2 games because of that knee sprain, but know that she's just 75% of who she is able to be. I'd love to be a 75% effort Cheyenne Sellers because that's pretty darn good. I mean, listen, she is a 3-level player who can also initiate offense for the team, leading the team in assists.
Michael off a curl, will drive and dish McLean, stuck in traffic, guarded by Kennedy Cambridge. Under 10 to shoot, the Terps in trouble on this possession. Dowsey is going to be an offensive foul. They really have nothing going there.
Right, and when the shot clock is going down, you get panicked. You speed yourselves up, and that's what Kevin McGuff said. We like to speed teams up, get them late in the shot clock, and right here, Dulcie gets downhill, but is met with a wall of defense.
Cody McMahon for Ohio State, their leading scorer, on the bench at about the 6-minute mark with 2 personal fouls. So might be some time before we see her. Taylor Theory trying to make something happening, and she'll go to the line to shoot too.
I love that offensive set by Ohio State, right? They run a double stagger, weak side action for Jelani Cambridge to come off of that and rip off the top. And then it's a dribble handoff, and then they attack the other side hard with Taylor Theory with a full head of steam on the opposite lane line. Nicely executed, great spacing, and that's why Theory's at the line.
Theory on the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year watch list, just reached 1,200 points for her career. A player who is so cerebral, IQ off the charts. Cody McMahon said she's just one of those people that does everything right the first time it's shown to her, always doing the right thing.
Well, that's a great leader. You know, sometimes you don't have to be full of verbiage. You don't have to have all the bravado. Just get the job done and show how to get the job done.
Maryland almost beating that full court press, the patented signature 22 of Ohio State. It'll stay Maryland basketball.
Yeah, but Ohio State loves their 2-2-1, and what Maryland has done well to get behind that second line. There are 2 people and then another 2. That second line of 2, they're throwing behind that, and now Ohio State's in a foot race.
Another high percentage look off a baseline out of bounds. Amari DeBerry this time on the finishing act.
Yeah, nice lob to the weak side to DeBerry, who paid that off, kept the ball nice and high on that finish in the paint. And Maryland, they want to attack that paint, whether it's on an out of bounds under or in the quarter court.
Jelani Cambridge, the hesitation, loves that floater, doesn't quite have the touch right there. And Smichael now off to the races.
Smart for Smichael to pull that basketball back out and get reorganized down here, giving it back to Tibiasu.
This team with 10 new players, 7 transfers, playing with so much connectiveness right now. Coach Freeze so excited about the bench contributions, especially during a 14-0 run against the Hoosiers, and looking for more production here. It comes in the form of DeBerry with a little left-hand hook.
How about those soft hands of DeBerry down in the trenches? I love it. Thought she was going to go up with her right, but she dropped that one in nicely with the left. Smooth move in the paint.
Dropped in a couple long 2s against the Hoosiers during a critical stretch to develop a double-digit lead. Sarah Tibiasu will be whistled for the foul chasing Jelani Cambridge.
We'll take a look on the previous possession by the home team. Maryland looking to get DeBerry a touch down inside, a little dribble handoff, and then the entry pass from up top. Go right inside to DeBerry right here. She's going to take it right over her shoulder and drop it home in the middle of the lane.
DeBerry has great size, but that's also her shooting over the 6'6" freshman Elsa Lemila of Ohio State, knowing what matchup behind her.
Yeah, Lemila is so tough to shoot over, obviously, at 6'6", but at the same time, you don't want to complicate things. You get a touch inside, just turn and shoot that thing and lift it over. That baby hook was the proper shot choice.
DeBerry secures the rebound. Sellers up ahead to Fisher. So important off the bench as we reach 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter here at College Park.
Cheyenne Sellers trying to orchestrate.
Cambridge in there for the steal, and the foul is going to go on McLean.
McLean looked like she was trying to get to the basketball at the same time Cambridge was, but it was smart of Jelani Cambridge to pull the basketball home right here. She's going to get right in there and pull it to her body. And then Mira McLean got a piece of her shoulder, trying to take it away.
Maryland and Ohio State in the bonus. 6 personal fouls, or rather 2 fouls apiece. So free throws here for Cambridge. Up to 5 points now. 1 for 5 shooting. You know, her confidence is sky high right now, coming off a career high 33 points. Curious to see how she locks in with her shooting, such an important contributor to this Buckeye team. Almost another steal in for the interception. It's Petty looking like a defensive back. The spin along the baseline stolen away by Sellers.
There's some football activity over here too, because her body's on the deck. Pinball style right in front of us. Hustling for those 50-50 opportunities.
DeBerry, same spot as she had multiple times against Indiana, knocks down the wrong 2.
Yeah, the bench loves that. DeBerry has come in on a heater for the Terps. 3 buckets off the bench.
Exactly what Brenda Freeze wants. Her team shorthanded, banged up right now. Cambridge now 1 of 6 tried to force that one. Stepping into a 3 is Green, and taken by Smeichel.
And Smeichel, another initiator for Maryland. Can get it and go. Averaged just about 22 points last season at Rutgers.
McLean away from the defense. That just rims out. And a traveling violation is called. Smeichel just swarmed in late to cause that turnover.
Yeah, just disrupted the footwork on the catch. Evan McGuff not too pleased. I'm not sure if he was displeased with the call or the actual travel.
We can't agree, though. Kaylin Smeichel's footsteps, not ones you want to hear coming your way.
I wouldn't want to hear them.
Kennedy, Cambridge, Garden, Cheyenne Sellers. 2 quick threes to start this game. Hasn't had much of a clean look since here. Takes the bump. No good.
They're going to blitz her, just like they did there.
Jelani Cambridge, and 1. But it's going to be waved off. Amari DeBerry was hunting that down. I think they're calling this a travel.
Let's take a look. Yeah, just straight to the basket. An extra step was whistled there. I think she was trying to maneuver herself to get away from DeBerry.
Maybe that offhand she was using against a player with multiple inches on her. An offensive foul officially. Maryland responds on the other side. Beautiful basketball, and Smeichel with the finishing end.
And those paint touches have come at a premium for Maryland in this first quarter for sure. And they have paid it off every single time it's gotten in there, whether it be on the primary touch or second and third opportunities off the old glass.
The Buckeyes have not made a bucket in 5 minutes. Here is Theory underneath the defense, poked away with 2 seconds remaining. And it will be Maryland basketball for a potential final shot.
Plenty of time for a catch and shoot. Maybe a long pass and a pull-up.
Sellers has an arm. She's directing traffic, gets it right back. Will heave it up the court. And it was even too strong for her. I said she's got an arm. She'll hold it up there. Ohio State this season being out-rebounded by Big Ten teams by 7 per game. Their Petty knocks it down. Their offense really sputtered at the end of that first quarter.
Yeah, you heard Kevin McGuff say, hey, we have to make the extra passes. And that's when they're at their best, when they have the great spacing and swing it to the one more.
Mismatch in the post. Kubek is calling for it against Jelani Cambridge. Just that easy. And she was not going to get much help there.
Yeah, well, that's the proper place to put the basketball. You need to recognize and be aware of mismatches. And that was a proper read for Maryland. as a unit on the offensive end.
5'7" against 6'2". They found it. And a high percentage look for Ali Kubek in the starting lineup for Sailor Poffenbarger, missing her second straight game. Jelani Cambridge, a circus shot to the rim.
I mean, that's just simply amazing. Wise beyond her years is what Kevin McGuff says about Jelani Cambridge.
Ohio State now will pick it off. A risky pass there, trying to break this relentless press. McMahon picked up 2 personal fouls in the first 4 minutes. Will misfire there, but Petty will clean up the glass.
And now they're mirroring what Maryland did well in that first quarter. Kevin McGuff said, hey, they won that first quarter on the old boards and in transition. We need to do some of that stuff. And now you see Petty climbing the ladder right there to get the bucket inside. And of course, when Ohio State scores, and they can put on that full court press that fuels them and defines them. The double team comes to Sellers, under 10 to shoot. Up and under, McLean will force it up too strong. Shot clock did reset. Kubek realizes it. Oh, and McMahon is fouled as she was going for that rebound. That was a loud thud by Cody McMahon there. She was trying to fight to corral that rebound and disallow another touch for Maryland. Well, back-to-back buckets by the Buckeyes, and right here, Jelani Cambridge stretches beyond and gets that deuce to drop home. And then another one, mid-range off the mark, but Petty right there cleaning up the activity. Deep in the corner, Kennedy Cambridge will misfire from 3, but Ohio State an excellent start to this second quarter. And more intentionality, and you've seen extra passes. Tibiasu draining the 3 for the Terrapins and providing that spark. Well, Tibiasu told us today after practice that she needed to be specifically more aggressive on the offensive end. And you saw that there in transition. McMahon can't answer back, keeping it alive. Into the paint, she drains the mid-range. That is her bread and butter shot. How about that? I mean, she's a 3-level scorer this season, right? With her ability to knock in the 3-point shot, over 30% clip from there. But you know what she can do when she puts the ball in the deck. Michael can't go coast to coast. She was turning on the Jets. And that's going to propel McMahon the other way, dropping it off. Petty amongst multiple yellow jerseys. Can't get it to fall. But I like that pass. Cody McMahon down to Petty, and Petty has taken so much pressure off of Cody McMahon this season offensively, especially scoring on the interior. Coming off back-to-back monster double-doubles, including 23 points, 15 rebounds, and their win against Michigan State. Here's Tibiasu looking for the step back, and said she'll go up and under, and it is blocked. Ohio State knows how to dial up the defense in the half court. Yeah, she was the A-10 player of the year last year, and she said the biggest difference to play in the Big Ten is the size and speed. And right there, she ran into a buzzsaw with the length and ability to block shots that Ohio State possesses inside. She said the guards are fast. Here's Taylor Theory earning a 3-point play, floating to the rim. Just effortless by Taylor Theory on the drive, right? The intentionality. She's knocked in a couple threes, so what do? You close out hard on that. And what does she do? Attack the hip and get downhill and get to the rim. Of course, you see the power and speed on display there, but there's also this elegance to her game, and just watching her move and score. Yeah, she's poetry in motion when it comes to her attack game. She's not going to full force anybody, but at the same time, she's very calculated with how she surgically dissects her attack decisions. And that one was proper as she gets the 3-point play completed at the line. Leading scorer in this game at 11 points. Taylor Theory, 3 of 5 from the floor, hasn't missed from 3-point range as well. We love to see that, and I think that's the aggression that Kevin McGuff was referring to. A little double drag action here by Maryland up top, the double screen. Amari DeBerry, excellent off the bench. She loses it, picked up by Lemula. You can't put the ball on the deck in traffic against this Ohio State team. Green will miss in transition, ripped down by Dulcie. And you can, but it's going to get stolen because they are a staunch defensive team. They had a stretch of games where they had more than 10 steals. That was snapped in their last contest where they only had 4 steals.
They were playing Michigan State, almost a mirror image of themselves at a season-low steals, season-low turnovers forced, still coming out with a ranked victory. Here's Sellers trying to bully Cambridge, and it works. She's fouled.
Jelani Cambridge trying to stay loose defensively, and it's easier said than done, especially against a big guard like Cheyenne Sellers, who is so strong and experienced.
That is going to be the third on Jelani Cambridge, and she's going to come out for her sister, Kennedy Cambridge. And so Cody McMahon has 2, and now Jelani Cambridge, 2 starters. She has 3.
That's a tough exit, though. Jelani Cambridge is definitely the conductor in terms of pace control on both sides of the court for Ohio State. We'll see how that impacts the team to close this first half.
7 to shoot for Cheyenne Sellers. Working through traffic, 3 on the clock, will put it up. Yes! That touched nothing on its way down. Kennedy Cambridge with the response.
She said Jelani may have 3 fouls, but you're going to get all 3 of these from range. You got to close out tighter on defense.
Combined 8 threes in this game. High-level plays by big-time players in this top 20 matchup.
It's a big game. You got to be ready to go for it. Who's going to get that solid momentum headed into Indy for the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament? Sellers, 2 seconds left, lets it fly, gets iron. Mir McLean sticking with it, gets it right back, fading away this time. And it's Ohio State basketball. Well, Kevin McGuff was incensed right there. So many touches for Maryland.
In rhythm, Kennedy Cambridge off front iron. Let me love. He's going to keep it alive.
McGuff imploring his team to stay organized and get to where they need to be so they can attack.
First lead of the game. Elsa Lemilo putting it on the floor.
She just needed 1 dribble, and then she can stretch those 6'6" legs out and get to the basket.
A steal by Green, and then McLean delivers the foul. The energy in the hands of Ohio State here in the second.
Well, the pendulum has swung in favor of the Buckeyes right now. Cheyenne Sellers knocks in that triple nice and clean, and Chefs kiss that one away. And then on the other end, Ohio State says, hey, anything you can do, I can do better from range. Ohio State with the lead.
And plenty more coming your way at the half with Allison and Kim. That 3-point shooting, absolutely lights out for both of these teams. A combined 8 so far in this first half.
Yeah, and for as well as they've been draining those triples, they've been able to score the paint.
Chance Gray weaving her way to the rim and 1.
Yeah, and that ties it up for paint points. Both teams now with 12. And the attack mode mentality, especially in this second quarter by Ohio State, has really been a difference maker, and that's why they've been able to hold this lead.
Against Michigan State, all but 1 of Chance Gray's 8 attempts were from beyond the arc, but she has that ability to put her head down and drive.
She does. It's just that quick first step, that explosive decision to attack the hip of the defender and get downhill and finish. And anticipate that second line of defense coming over to help. And take the hit and knock it in.
Ohio State took the lead for the first time in the last minute or so here in College Park. Now lead by 4. And Maryland wanting a response. Shot clock under 10. Smiker just grazing a rim. She's been quiet here to start. The shot clock didn't restart, actually. She's going to take it right to the cup and brought in by Lemila.
Didn't hit the rim there, so a tight reset for Maryland. Came up empty there, but you see the way Ohio State is defending with a hard hedge or a blitz, and Brenda Free said we're going to try to slip out of that as an infraction there by Cambridge.
Shuffling her feet. That's turnover number 5 for the Buckeyes.
But to that point, Brenda Freeze was saying we've got to attack. When they send 2 bodies with that hard hedge, we've got to slip to the rim out of that or try to get a pop. But we can't stand, and I think that was the biggest key offensively against how Ohio State defends. They've got to move well out of those blitzes and double teams and hard hedges up top, especially on pick and roll reads.
The lob inside, Kubek had to readjust and finish on the opposite side.
A degree of difficulty on a 1,000 right there for Kubek. In traffic, getting that reversal to go. That was close to being a travel.
Green in trouble, but a foul is called. The Terrapins had her wrapped up along the baseline.
They walled her up right there, took the baseline away. Madison Green ran into a couple of trees in the forest. Talking about defensive rotation for Maryland.
It's now 5 team fouls on the Terrapins, Ohio State with 1. The Buckeyes largely doing this. They were down by 7 points and now building this lead with Cody McMahon with 2 personal fouls, limited to just 8 minutes in this first half. Jelani Cambridge, their starting point guard, with 3 personal fouls.
Kevin McGuff said of Cody McMahon, he said, you know, she's got to be aggressive. She's got to get to the foul line. And she's got to shoot the 3. And he said he didn't want her to fall in love with any one of those 3 things in particular in case one of them gets going. Like, if you start hitting the 3s, then keep it moving. But, you know, the fact that there are so many choices for Cody McMahon to impact the game, you love to hear that from the coach.
We'll see what happens in the second half. She picked up her second just 4 minutes into this game. Being disruptive, the identity of the Buckeyes. But no teammate was there for Kennedy Cambridge.
Yeah, there was no pass over there. There were 2 Maryland defenders in the way.
Good look for Kayleen Smythe. Can't get it to fall from 3. Lemmy Love getting it to her team. The trailer is Green thought about that 3, and she's going to reset.
Maryland sticking with their man-to-man defense.
Ray, a 3-point play earlier, looking for that wraparound pass, and that's also picked up.
Yeah, Maryland doing a really good job of rotating on those dribble drives.
Sellers dialing it up from 3. She's got another. Sellers with 4 threes in this first half.
Killer Theory trying to get that ball screen for Madison Green. And now she's on the move to empty out. Let's see what Ohio State can come up with here. Lemila trying to get in the 2-man action with Green now.
Long 3 for Gray, too strong. And reeled in by Tibiasu's shot clock is off to close this first half.
Cheyenne Sellers picking up right where she left off from the last game at Indiana. 21 of her 25 points in that 4th quarter, and she has been striking while the iron is hot from range in this one in the first half.
He's fouled by Kennedy Cambridge. 9.2 seconds left. Ohio State just their 2nd team foul.
See what Ohio State does here defensively to try to speed Maryland up with their decisions with the short clock here to close the half.
Get in there, Butler! Go! Go!
Sellers shouting directions. 3 seconds left. Looking backdoor for Smythe. Throws it into the crowd. 1.3 seconds on the clock.
She may have had her on the roll, but just, you know, that half-court shot that she heaved up and had too much on it, that one had a little too much smoke on it as well. But the decision was proper. Execution, not so much.
The Buckeyes won't get a final shot off. We have a 1-point game at the half in this top 20 matchup that could be extremely meaningful when it comes to doling out those top.
Florida taking on Texans. First quarter, Texas up 1. Madison Booker crosses over, hits the pull-up to put Texas up 3. We go to the 3rd. Texas up 20 off the steal. Rory Harmon finishes the lay-in. The Longhorn bench, they love it, and Texas would win.
Get the win, so we went to the coin flip for the #1 seed in the SEC tournament.
And they won the coin flip as well, so it'll be South
Very
Carolina.
dramatic. Very dramatic coin flip.
Interesting way to decide it. All right, staying in that conference, 4th quarter, Tennessee here down 2. Spencer with the 3. They're up 1 later in the 4th. Game tied at 62. McCullough in transition lays it in. Georgia with the
Big upset on the road for the Dogs.
In the ACC, 2nd quarter between Notre Dame and Louisville, Irish up 4. Hannah Hidalgo misses the shot, but she stays with it, lays it back in. She finished with 20 points and 9 boards.
Yeah, Notre Dame trying to get back from 2 straight losses. Olivia Miles made sure that was going to happen. That close the third, but Notre Dame went on to win.
So
against Louisville.
they take a share of the regular season title in the ACC, and they'll share it with the Wolfpack, surging in March like they have become known to do here lately.
We had to see this one again. Zoe Brooks behind the back, 360 over to Madison Hayes, and then so many talented guards for this Wolfpack team. Isaiah, James, up to Zoe Brooks. They win. They share the ACC regular season title with Notre Dame. We'll see what they can do in the rest of March.
All right, Cheyenne Sellers had a big end to the game last.
Maryland was able to do in that first quarter alone, scored 7 points off of offensive rebounds on second chance points. And then 6-0 advantage for Ohio State in that statistic in the second quarter. So everyone has had a turn. It's been a tale of 2 quarters. See what this second half brings. Let's see if Cody McMahon can stay on the floor with the fouls. Jelani Cambridge sitting with 3 fouls. And Cody McMahon with 2. So that's something to circle for the second half as well.
And Theory just picked up her second. McMahon picked up 2 in the first 4 minutes of the game. She was limited in the first half to just 8 minutes. Jelani Cambridge to 14 minutes in that first half. Now you have Theory in that group too.
You want to be able to stay disciplined. You know that your opponents are going to put you in actions to challenge that discipline for sure, especially, I know Brenda Freeze was back there, like put them in pick rolls and try to get them in rotation. So they have to make some tough choices defensively.
Cody McMahon will misfire from the mid-range. Running the floor is Schmeichel behind the defense for an easy lay.
Well, that, my friends, is how you beat the press. And a ravenous defensive squad like Ohio State put the ball behind all of the chaos and finish on the back end in the paint.
Asia Petty tries the blow by, instead will kick it out and earn the assist. Taylor Theory dialing up the 3.
3 for 3 from range by Taylor Theory. She has been magnificent in terms of staying more aggressive that Kevin McGuff wanted to see from her in this game. Near steal right there by Petty.
Schmeichel forces it up. Dulcie there to clean it up, and she'll be shooting 2. Schmeichel in this one 2 for 9 from the floor, but an opportunity here.
It's the aggression and motor that Dulcie just has maintained all season long. Just under 4 offensive rebounds for her on the season.
They're gonna put that foul on Jelani Cambridge, and that is number 4 on the starting point guard and potential Big Ten freshman of the year.
That's just unfathomable when you're looking at the situation that Kevin McGuff and his staff is in right now. You just see the quizzical look on Kevin McGuff's face, trying to say she was vertical down in there. But you can thwart all those issues by putting a body on somebody and disallowing Maryland those second touches, because you're out of position most times. So even if you're on your way to get your hands up, if that contact occurs before you're completely vertical, that is a foul.
Maryland's so good at getting to the free throw line, 2nd in the country in attempts per game, and Ohio State's the recipient of that right now is McMahon. Can't knock that down from 3.
And just about 17 per game for Maryland.
Schmeichel barrels to the rim and converts.
I'm here for the dramatics of Mark. That was a slow winding deuce for Schmeichel.
A 3-point lead for Maryland. Ohio State picked up its first lead of the game late in the first half as McMahon forces it up and in.
Oh, tiptoe through the tulips right downstairs by Cody McMahon. Nicely executed behind that wall of defense that Maryland had created in there.
Despite choppy minutes, she is locked in for this 3rd quarter as Sellers double clutches, no whistle. She came down hard, and she is not up yet. She still has a sore knee, and she is in significant pain on the other side, still underneath the basket.
They have to, she's in live.
And they're going to blow a whistle. And she looks very uncomfortable. Sellers missed 2 games in February with a knee sprain, then fell on that same joint hard against Michigan about a week and a half ago. Minutes hadn't been affected that they had been monitoring her load in practice, and this time clearly came down hard as she gets up with some help.
She has most certainly been giving every single thing that she has, and you just don't like to see her be carried off as they take her to the back. Oof.
Shai Sellers had been playing so well since her injury. Head coach Brenda Free said, in fact, she's shooting even better, maybe just having to think about her shots.
You just see right here, hesitation and crossover. Try to see. Didn't really see anything there. Can't really see on the landing either, but hopefully it's nothing serious. But boy, she is just pouring her heart out on this court as a senior leader.
The vocal leader, the emotional leader of this team, especially when you have Bree McDaniel, who was also sidelined by injury, out for the entire season with a knee injury, who you think would come into the spot, be that burst and be that emotional push.
Yeah, no question about it. And also in this game, Sarah Poffenbarger out with an ankle injury. So, I mean, just a myriad of health issues for the Terps, and you just hate to see Cheyenne Sellers, who just recently went down with that knee brace, covering that injured knee, but holding that knee. So hopefully it's nothing serious for Cheyenne.
Hopefully we see her as soon as possible. 7 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter in College Park. And Maryland is going to have to regroup without their leading scorer on the floor. The only player in program history, 1,500, 500, and 500. They're McLean, the burst to the rim.
Cody McMahon is going to be whistled for that one.
That is on her. That is going to be number 3. That is indeed number 3 on Cody McMahon.
Kevin McGuff making no moves for a substitution right here, trusting Cody McMahon to stay disciplined here. The team needs her in this one-point game on the road to stay on the floor.
I feel like we're looking toward the bullpen. Don't see any movement,
Nope.
so...
He didn't even walk and look down there. He's just like, and play on. We're not even entertaining any thought processes about a change in rotation.
Long 3 from Schmeichel. Follows her own miss. Knew exactly where that was going, and the extra effort off of Petty to keep the possession alive.
Kayleen Schmeichel doing everything that she can to impact the possession in favor of Maryland. Those kinds of hustle plays, those 50-50, those commit to grit plays is what I like to call them. Those make a big difference at the end of the game.
Schmeichel gets through the defense affected by Petty. Back-to-back defensive stops, then a foul on Asia Petty, and some chirping after that play with the physicality.
Oh boy. And Petty, ooh, she has a little side-eye activity right there after all this. Ooh, it's getting hot down in the paint, I will tell you that. How many times did Petty try to block a shot? It's like the Tootsie Pop. Ooh, a little after effects. Oh, that's a big swing there. And Dulcie
Some
took offense to
spiciness.
that. A little extra. But then the officials are...
And there is officially going to be a technical on Christina Dowsey, who is a fiery player with a big personality and making her case here. But she'll shoot those shots first, and then we will take care of the technical on the other side.
Yeah, you can hear her say, hey, I'm good, but she hit me in my face. I didn't like that. That's a face card. Play basketball, but a little extra force and veracity on those block shot attempts.
And Petty was outstanding, trying to stand her ground, making back-to-back stops before that whistle. But Dulcie, someone who really likes playing against Ohio State. The first match at 10 points, 18 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds, as she takes care of business. Madison Green will shoot here.
I feel like we're in summer camp. Shoot free throws down there and shoot them over here.
It's an really great to see that the final day of the regular season, these seeds already decided, the players aware of that, they know they're getting a bye into the quarterfinals, but there is some tension here, Christy, between these two teams. After Maryland lost to Ohio State in Columbus on January 23rd, Coach Freeze wrote on the whiteboard March 2nd.
Yeah.
They have circled this one on their calendar, and you're seeing that kind of mentality.
Yeah, and some more things. They have really tried to recharge this Maryland team and give them the lift and momentum that's necessary for March basketball. And I love it.
And a turnover forced by the Terrapins, holding on to a 1-point lead. Playing without Cheyenne Sellers, went down in pain a couple minutes ago, carried off the court and back to the locker room. The ball's going to go the other way. This is going to go on Dulcie.
It's in the middle of the paint. Take a look at Christina Dulcie right there clearing, trying to get that swim move post position. Just a little extracurricular. Just trying to make sure everything is piped down from that last sequence of events with the double technical.
And another whistle as it continues to be chippy here.
Just trying to gather the energy back on the floor, it seems. Just trying to make sure everybody's staying disciplined with it.
Runs it inside to Asia Petty, and she travels.
Well, she was off balance on the catch, and that pivot foot went right back. She tried to get that leverage to no avail. But no Jelani Cambridge either, so Maryland's missing Cheyenne Sellers, who went out. And she's getting her knee checked. And then Jelani Cambridge sitting there with 4 fouls. I mean, there's so many dramatic situations going on here in College Park. 2-2-1 now by Ohio State after the dead ball.
These are two teams urgently trying to make their case to host in the NCAA tournament, be named a top 16 seed. Maryland just outside the picture. Ohio State, the last revealed, the number 16 seed. They cannot drop if they want to play at the shot where they're 15-0 this year. As Sarah Tibiasu ignites this crowd with a three.
Tibiasu clapping her hands right there. You can feel the energy that she is giving to the team. Said she needed to be more aggressive in this game, and she has been that for sure.
These teams exchanging blows. Here is Petty fading. That is blocked. Another opportunity for the Buckeyes. Green will float it up, and she is fouled.
And now the second chance opportunity battle has really been in favor of Ohio State as of late, right? In that second quarter alone, it was a 6-0 advantage in second chance points for Ohio State.
Green about to shoot, but you hear the crowd swelling. Cheyenne Sellers has returned to the bench, and she's going to the scorer's table to check into this game. She was writhing in pain just moments ago, carried off the floor. And that fierce competitor is coming back in.
I saw her take a nice deep breath.
She'll relieve Kaylee Smiker. She's been playing at about 75% for a couple of weeks right now. She says, I just have to make the right decisions, find what feels good. The best plays and shots for me. She's been magnificent since, and wants to be a force back on the floor again. Here's Tibiasu looking for back-to-back, and ripped down by Petty, who's controlling the glass here in the third.
I love how Tibiasu got right down into the paint right there, carved her way inside, just couldn't get the bucket to fall. But now she knows if she can get next time.
Green lets it fly. Petty battling for it with McLean, and a foul is called going on McLean.
They were so young. They were freshmen and sophomores on that team, and Christy Tolliver, they were just all so young, and they just didn't know better, right? And they just went out and got the job done. First title in Maryland women's basketball history.
That Christy Tolliver 3 late in that game is one of the foundational basketball memories.
Yeah, big time stuff. Winners win. And Christy Tolliver has done that over and over again in her storied career. Now an assistant coach in the WNBA with the Phoenix Mercury.
Cheyenne Sellers back into the offense, left the court, was carried off a couple of minutes ago here in the third quarter, returned, looking for an assist to Dulcie, and gets it on the high percentage feet.
Well, you can still see she is grimacing on the way back, but I'm going to tell you what, I know for sure that Cheyenne Sellers is going to squeeze every drop of juice out of the orange when it comes to this team and what the leadership role means for her. And if she can't score it, she's going to get somebody else the ball so they can score.
McMahon, beautiful, unstoppable fade.
And she is just so efficient and under control. I mean, I know she picked up that charge early in the game. She has been really tough to stop in that paint for her career so far as well.
She's playing with 3 fouls right now. Jelani Cambridge, the freshman point guard for the Buckeyes, on the bench. Only played 16 minutes in this one. She has 4 personal fouls. So both these teams banged up. It is chippy, and like you said, it's already feeling like tournament time in this building.
No question about it. I mean, with Jelani Cambridge off of the floor, I mean, that's just a disruption to the cadence that you want to play with on both sides. I mean, she's such a pesky defender. She can get downhill for Ohio State, and they need that.
Dulcie coming alive in the second with the putback.
She is a machine on the offensive boards. Just under 4 offensive rebounds on average for Dulcie coming into this game.
She's 2 points from a double-double. As McMahon loses the handle, it's Maryland basketball.
You can see Cheyenne Sellers trying to get some help off the screening action that they were trying to set up there.
Dulcie has a mismatch inside Madison Green.
With no help, they got to send it down there.
She's only about 5'8". They haven't found her in the post just yet. Here's Sellers working around a screen. Gets herself into congestion and draws the foul.
What happens when Cheyenne Sellers puts the ball in the deck? She's in a crowded space. They're going to send a second body to her. No question about it. You've seen it all in this entire game and all season long from different opponents as well. But when that happens, the other teammates from Maryland, they need to relocate and get into her vision. It's already been disrupted in a crowded space. Got to make it easier for her to get the ball back out.
Cheyenne Sellers has not missed a free throw in 7 games.
Sloan Martin. Sloan Martin. Wow. I am lifting the crown off of your head and setting it on the table for a moment after that. Come on.
She had made 22 straight. She's back on track now.
Back on track.
If you didn't believe
put the crown back on you. Okay.
If you didn't believe in curses, jinxes, you should now. Crashing to the floor is Emily Fisher. And that's going to go on McMahon. That is number 4.
The tangled web we weave for the Buckeyes. And take a look at that weak side cut, and just displacement is the call there. Cody McMahon leading with that arm bar.
So the Buckeyes get the steal here. Kennedy Cambridge going up with it. They're going to have to lean into trying to make and manufacture points because they have 2 starters on the bench in McMahon and Cambridge, their top 2 scorers.
Yeah, Kennedy Cambridge is as quick as a hiccup, okay? So you better be smart when you're trying to pass the ball in her area. She is great at anticipating when to attack the basketball for steals.
Chance Gray fouls Sellers as she put the ball down. This is significant for the Buckeyes, having Cambridge and McMahon 4 personal fouls apiece, affecting their playing time, of course their production, and having to find that elsewhere.
Yeah, and the big question after that is, when do you bring them back? They both have 4 fouls. So how long into the 4th quarter? Do you start them in the 4th quarter with those 4 fouls and then just trust in this 1 possession game? that they'll stay safe from fouling out. They may have to sit for a little bit in that fourth quarter. That's a tough choice to make. Welcome to coaching. Man, that's a gamble.
Sellers makes her way to the sideline. Kayleen Schmeichel back in. Always a threat. She's 3 for 12 today, but does have 10 points, one of 2 terrapins in double figures. As Madison Green, what a luxury for Ohio State that your point guard, potential Big Ten freshman of the year, is on the bench. You bring in a 6th-year player in Madison Green.
Yeah, no question. I mean, she had 2 injuries to her knee. That's why she's in her 6th season.
And Cambridge will misfire, ripped down by Dulcie. That's her 11th rebound.
Big time stops by Dulcie on the glass, and she's been a force on the interior offensively as well.
Blocked by Lemila on the drive by Kubak, and then Dulcie will be whistled for the foul. That'll be her 4th.
This gets more and more dramatic, and I am smiling because I love it. I mean, this is a chess match for sure on the precipice of the Big Ten women's basketball tournament in Indianapolis coming up this week. This is the foul. Shot goes up, got partially blocked. Dulcie trying to make a play on it and couldn't put the brakes on and ran into Kennedy Cambridge for the foul.
That's the 4th foul on Dulcie. Each side has 2 players with 4 personals. That's Mir McLean off the bench, Christina Dulcie for Maryland. And as we've talked about, Jelani Cambridge and Cody McMahon for the Buckeyes. Those are significant players to have on the bench.
Yeah, it's the next player up mentality, right? Everybody has to be ready and not to do what those players do, but up the ante with what you bring to the table in your role. Pick it up.
Sarah Tibiasu, they're looking for Kubak underneath. Maryland breaks the press explosively. Kennedy Cambridge shaking her left hand as she finally crosses half court. This has been a physical, all-out battle today.
As it should be. That's what you want.
Taken! Tibiasu picking the pocket. She can't finish. Did Cambridge get a piece of that, or was it just her footsteps hurt?
No, she got a piece of it.
Chance Gray launching and draining a 3. The Buckeyes taking the energy out of Xfinity Center.
There's always a chance. From range, that was a quick triple. Smuggled the net for the Buckeyes on that one.
No excuses for Ohio State with the way they're playing. You have 2 starters on the bench, but we're making it happen.
That's right, you gotta row the boat.
Sarah Tibiasu playing her best basketball of the season right now. Can't get the step against Green. 5 to shoot.
Maryland has done a good job in those out of bounds underneath plays, getting the execution necessary. Tibiasu right there. Yeah, she got that partially blocked by Kennedy Cambridge. And then right here, Chance Gray splashes one home from range for the Buckeyes. Just 1 point down now.
Kayleen Schmeichel, so much power, but that time, slides that foot.
Tried to stop and bring it back through. But that pivot foot took an extra slide and step.
7 seconds left for Kennedy Cambridge, pushing it up the floor, leaving it for Taylor Feary, their top 3-point threat, sets and can't finish. But what a 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th, a 1-point game.
Yeah, both coaches clapping their hands. It's going to be a challenge of what you're accountable to, right? And you're accountable to your team. You got to play smart.
Aisha Petty, what a move. Couldn't get the roll. Jelani Cambridge keeping it alive. The floater, too strong that time. She's going to have to click in after only playing 16 minutes in this game. But a credit, Christy, to Ohio State. They were down by 1 when she left the game early in the 3rd quarter. With her 4th, you're still down by 1.
Exactly. But then when you've been sitting, your legs are bouncing, you're up and down with your feet, trying to get a quick bucket.
Chance Gray feeding Jelani Cambridge. That's exactly what Ohio State wants to do.
The steal and score opportunities. Maryland, they've done a good job with those points off turnovers. But right now, you have Ohio State with 13 points off turnovers, Maryland with 15 points off of them. So it's going to be a battle of attrition right here, like who can take better care of the basketball and who can crash the glass.
Kayleen Schmeichel up and under the extension for the finish.
How about that? Go gadget arms. Go ahead, Kayleen Schmeichel, stretch beyond and get the job done right there. Basketball 101 footwork in the paint.
12 points for Schmeichel. Jelani Cambridge coughs it up. And Sellers is fouled, again crashing to the ground. You just hold your breath for
Yes. She got up, it seems to be fine, but I tell you what, she's gonna give you her all. I know that for sure, but let's see what happens down here on the offensive end and see if Ohio State can get some more steal and score opportunities. They're in that 2-2-1 yet again.
Ohio State was in backing time. Schmeichel setting up Kubik.
This is what you do against the 2-2-1. Get the ball to the middle of the floor, look opposite, and then look down low. And Kubik sitting down there waiting for the opportunity to finish with contact inside. It's a zigzag attack. You don't want to dribble against pressure, especially from Ohio State. Get the ball to the middle to soften that defense. And then send it to the opposite side and underneath. And Maryland has been able to dissect nicely in their press offense.
That is 4 personals on Taylor Theory. So 4 Buckeye starters, rather make it 3 with 4 personal fouls. We got
State pressure. They like to run that 2-2-1, and how do you get rid of that, right? You get the ball to the middle of the floor. Sarah Tibiasu is going to get the ball here, get it to the middle of the floor to soften the defense. Now you have attention of that defender on the second line. Throw behind the second line, and then zigzag and attack on the weak side with an and one. That was perfectly executed offense by Maryland.
Coach Freeze said a team like Indiana set a blueprint, and they've done it extremely well, handling this press as Petty works the glass and cleans it up.
Second chance opportunities down inside. Now a 13-11 advantage for Maryland down in there. But Petty, if she gets activated in that way, that could be trouble for the Terps.
Kayleen Schmeichel stops on a dime and will finish in the paint.
How about the footwork? Yet again. Slows you down. Little slow walker two-step. Right in front of the rim for Schmeichel yet again in the paint.
4 Buckeyes with 4 personal fouls. 2 of them are on the floor. Here is Petty surrounded in the paint. Cambridge with the floater. And an offensive foul. That is number 5 on Jelani Cambridge. She's done for today.
What a critical sequence of events for the Buckeyes. Jelani Cambridge right there, just trying her best to create some offensive momentum for the team. But just a bit overzealous there, whistled for the charge.
And Schmeichel capitalizes on the opportunity, draining that shot. Cambridge told us today, I'm feeling unstoppable right now. It's been choppy, and Maryland is seizing on the chance here at home. Chuck's built to serve pretty even on threes, but how rare is it to see a team outscoring the Buckeyes in points off turnovers, and a chance for Maryland to add to that here?
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, it's the pain points for me right now. Maryland with a +8 in that category, and that has been the difference, right? You're looking at the 6-point lead that they have, but a lot of that has had to do with the paint points and their ability to attack downhill. And not all the way to the rack every time, but get that mid-range going as well for the Terps.
Into the hands of Schmeichel. Exactly how they drew it up. Sarah Tibiasu says, we're at our best when we're having fun, and I think the Terps having fun here in the fourth.
Yeah, no question about it. What happens when you're attacking the paint well? You can get those threes off.
McMahon sheds her defender, but travels is another Ohio State turnover. They're 16th.
Kubik hit the deck over there. I thought that could have possibly almost been Cody McMahon's 5th foul.
Jelani Cambridge is already fouled out of this game. McMahon with 4, Taylor Theory, 2 starters with 4 personals apiece. Kennedy Cambridge will kick that.
Still a 2-2-1. They send Kubik all the way back, so Petty has no choice. She's got to stay matched in the backcourt. So it's almost like it's a man-to-man press here. But they're set up spacing-wise in a 2-2-1. But that's smart to send Kubik all the way back to keep that back line honest.
Sellers, the inbounder, at one point left this game for a couple minutes in the 3rd quarter, carried off the floor, appeared to come down hard on what's already a banged-up knee. But she is leading this team through this relentless press break, and that time turning it over. That's her 6th turnover today.
Yeah, you could see Sarah Tibiasu saying, I should have kept going. So there was just a miscue there between the 2 teammates.
See if Ohio State can make them pay. Kubik in the passing lane, and a foul is caught.
They're going to adjudicate it right away. I think maybe they had different calls. They're just trying to get some clarification with one another.
All the Terrapins pointing like there's been a fumble.
Yeah, you got to commit to grit. Who wants the basketball more? It's 50-50 opportunity.
It is going to be foul on Petty as they were both battling, her and Kubik, for that loose ball. So Maryland surging here in the 4th and getting the ball back.
Yeah, 50-50 opportunity right there. Like, there was an advantage gained with the contact that Petty made. And that's why she was whistled with that infraction. Good spacing here by Maryland. They like to run that double stagger action. This time Schmeichel is in it.
Deep in the paint, looking for Emily Fisher. Foul's going to go on Green, who was just going to get posted up there deep.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is what Maryland set up, right? They want to set up for cross matches and mismatches in the paint. And that's what they've done well here in the 2nd half. Put Madison Green in a conundrum, making her make a tough decision.
5 personal, rather, team fouls on Ohio State. 0 on Maryland at this point here in the 4th quarter. Ripped down by Petty, and it's Buckeye basketball.
Well, Madison Green gambled and won on that one. An empty possession for Maryland.
Did pick up her 3rd personal in the process. Theory getting downhill, right into Sellers, and finishes.
Well, great action by Ohio State there. They love to get Taylor Theory on the move like that, on the dribble handoff actions.
And a turnover. Trying to break the press at travel. That's 7 turnovers now on Sellers.
That's one thing we were talking about in that 1st half. Ohio State's ability to speed you up with your decisions.
Petty steamrolling and reversing. A dynamic play from the transfer. Approaching the midway point of this 4th quarter, Ohio State and Petty 2 rebounds shy of her 3rd consecutive double-double within 5.
2-player action on the strong side for Maryland. Trying to get a ball screen, trying to free Cheyenne Sellers, who's been hampered offensively since she went out with that knee situation.
Tibiasu draws the defense. Schmeichel leaves it short, ripped down by Theory, and Kubik is going to be whistled for the foul, trying to jostle it loose. That is just her 2nd.
It's almost like they may need to free Cheyenne Sellers of the basketball and get her in some of those actions off the ball with some screens so that she can be a scoring option.
That's what happened in her 21-point 4th quarter against Indiana.
Yeah.
Coach Free says with the way she was playing, we were able to dial up plays, draw out plays just for her.
Absolutely, get her off the ball.
McMahon sizing up Kubik, looking inside to Petty. We'll call her on number 1-2. Right into the hands of Cody Cambridge. Count it!
And right there, you saw the lack of mobility by Cheyenne Sellers. She couldn't really react other than to reach her hand in there. And could not quell the speed of Kennedy Cambridge, who just came right to the basketball right there like a bee to honey. And will head to the line to pay off the three-point play possibility.
Cambridge scoreless against Michigan State, but with the foul trouble today, Jelani Cambridge fouling out. Key with her energy in this contest. Sellers losing her headband in the process, and she loses it out of bounds. And she's incredulous.
Well, it looked like she lost possession of the basketball, and that's why I believe the timeout was not granted, because it got deflected out of her hand. Well, let's take a look and see. Cheyenne Sellers going into the coffin corner against Ohio State, not good, but the timeout came after the ball was hit out of Cheyenne Sellers' hand, so there was no possession.
Maryland has turned it over 3 times the last 2 minutes. Here is Green taking contact. Petty there to clean up the glass, using her power and earning herself a trip to the free throw line.
What a fight to the finish this game is going to be, and it's going to be a battle on the glass. Petty, right there, right place, right time to battle for that possession for the Buckeyes.
She's at 10 points, 9 rebounds. She's had back-to-back games. The best of her season here, her first year here as a grad student in Columbus. 12 points, 14 rebounds against Purdue, her first double-double since January 12th, and then most recently against Michigan State. Not only the 23 points, but was 11 for 11 from the field to go along with her 15 rebounds, and she is being a force today in this one. Taylor Ferry keeping it alive off of back-to-back misses, a huge rebound.
Well, you're talking about a player in Petty with a ton of experience, 2 years at LSU, 2 years at Kentucky, and a lot going on right there.
Emily Fisher is slow to get up, working through traffic involving Cody McMahon. And McMahon playing right now with 4 personal fouls. That's going to be going on the Terrapins and Quebec.
Take a look at this dribble handoff.
Rather Fisher.
And Fisher taking all of the contact there, and she's going to head to the bench to get checked on.
That is the 4th team foul on Maryland. So the next one will put the Buckeyes at the free throw line. Petty backing down against Quebec, taking her time. Open Theory in the corners, left short. Kennedy Cambridge, the effort player, cannot keep the possession.
That's why you hit the ankle, not the hip, because that ricocheted right back into her hands. Oh, man, there's a boomerang action. That's just so tough. Great hustle play. Kennedy Cambridge came right back to her. Oh, man.
Is that the secret, the ankle?
Yeah, go for the toe.
Timeout by Brenda Freeze. Her team leading by 3, 3:42 remaining in this 4th quarter. Buckle up for the...
With that dribble weave, dribble handoff action, and getting downhill and forcing rotation from Maryland's defense.
Ohio State trying to win this game on the road with Jelani Cambridge on the bench. She fouled out. Killing Smichael unstuck to the ring.
Straight line drives have been beneficial for both of these teams. Both have qualified for the double bye in the upcoming Big Ten women's basketball tournament.
21 points for Smichael, 11 in this quarter. Green with a response.
Oh my, that's a money green triple by Madison Green, the 6th-year player for Ohio State.
Again, Kennedy Cambridge wreaking havoc. And she is in pain as well. Cambridge making her way to her feet. Her sister. 2nd player we've seen carried off company. Ohio State having to regroup after losing their Energizer Bunny here late in this game on the road. They're on an 11-2 run right now. With Maryland now on the offensive end.
Yeah, a lot of that due to Kennedy Cambridge and her energy and force, especially on the offensive glass. Her ability to finish in the paint as well.
Christina Dowsey, an offensive foul, and that is going to be number 5 on Dowsey. Done for today. 8 points, 11 rebounds, and a technical earlier on.
I mean, this has been such a dramatic movie of a game right now. I mean, Dulcie fouled out with that charge. Defense established in legal guarding position there, and that was a charge. So the drama continues, and I love it.
Two players have fouled out in this contest. We can only equate to a heavyweight fight on the final day of the regular season. McMahon playing with four, splits defenders and travels.
We give credit to Maryland's defense on that one, walling up. Cody McMahon, you know she got the charge earlier in this game with that same spin move to the middle. And Maryland was right there on that basket line to meet her. Forcing the travel.
Michael getting help from Tibiasu, breaking this suffocating Ohio State press. Now slowing things down. Fisher playing key minutes here. She's also playing with four personals.
Well, Cheyenne Sellers now playing off the basketball is what we were talking about just a couple moments ago. Let's see if they can try to create a touch for her.
Three to shoot. Tibiasu sprinting to the rim, and she'll be shooting too.
Maryland plays that 5-out motion offense, and they have moving parts all over the court. Let's take a look, and what that creates is the ability to drive those lane lines, and Tibiasu did a fantastic job there of attacking the hip and getting downhill.
At 6 points today, 3 assists, 3 rebounds as well. Talked to us today about how it just took time, really nearly 20 games in the season, to find her confidence in the Big Ten. As you see, the foul trouble dealing with in this game. Cambridge and Dulcie, two starters fouling out on either side. 2 more Buckeyes playing with 4 personals. Same for the Terrapins.
She did a chef's kiss on the way back, and I believe Cheyenne Sellers did a chef's kiss in the first half. Oh boy.
Tibiasu, beautiful pass, it is Kubak inside with the 2.
It was a perfect for me to freeze the defense, had to do it.
Timeout is called. Maryland leading 76 to 74. 1:19 remaining in the fourth quarter.
PayPal.
And emotions running high.
Well, you love to see it. Petty right here, getting petty with it with that little left hand floater that goes over the lip of the rim. Oh, you love to see. You love to see the energy by both teams right now.
Petty hands it off. McMahon playing with 4 personal fouls, pinned towards herself for the finish at the rim.
Serpentining her way to the rack the best way she knows how. Cody McMahon coming up with a big bucket for the Buckeyes.
Not much Cody McMahon does is gentle. She is so strong and fast, but right there with 4 personals, needing every soft touch she can muster.
Power and grace.
Cheyenne Sellers, unstoppable herself here in the fourth quarter.
My goodness, man.
When you see that stomp from Cody McMahon.
Hey, take a look right here. Great entry pass, bounce pass right into the shot pocket of Cody McMahon. She was like, and one. Cheyenne Sellers wheeling and dealing for the fader in the mid.
With one final day of the regular season, both these teams have locked up double buys for the Big Ten tournament, but it is pride and it is a ranked win on the line for 2 teams battling to host in the NCAA tournament as a top 16 overall seed.
Looks like a possible Iverson action here. Maybe they're going to swing Schmeichel and Sellers around the 2 post players at the elbow, but they're going straight to Sellers.
Sellers, 5 seconds left. Do we go to overtime? They go to their best player. She is stuffed. on here in College Park.
Just what was
On January 23rd, Coach Freeze, after that loss, wrote March 2nd on their post-game locker room whiteboard. They were fired up from the get-go.
Yeah, no question. And now we're going to see who's going to run through the tape. That's what we're trying to see. And maybe it'll take a couple more sessions of overtime, whatever. Who's going to fight to the finish? Who's going to stay the most disciplined? And who's going to take away the paint? That's going to be the major key in this overtime session in College Park.
Green is resetting, calling out a new play. Shreds the defense right to the cut. Paint.
What a tough bucket right there. What did I just say, right? The paint. That's the most coveted area on the court right now. You have fatigued legs. Those threes might not be falling at an efficient clip. So get downhill, get those elbows, get those gaps.
Michael delivers a blow, gets herself to the rim. Kennedy Cambridge picking up the loose ball. Good to see her back on the floor. She was carried off with an injury. As Taylor Fury skies to the rim and earns the foul.
Well, Taylor Theory, they call her TT for short. And I tell you what, there's nothing short about the skill set that she possesses. Phenomenal. And she knew she was going to be creating that pressure to the rim. She's been doing it all game.
Her third 20-point game this season for Taylor Theory, having to step up. But their point guard fouled out of this game.
It's just good to see her playing with that aggression. Kevin McGuffey wanted to see.
Ball is loose. Green was battling for it. It's staying right here. We have seen endless plays here on the final day of the regular season.
It's beautifully chaotic, rugged basketball, and that's what it should be, right? I mean, can you play in chaos? Can you be disciplined when it's not easy or laid out in front of you?
Time to shoot. Tibiasu has a 6'3" Theory on her. Kubek will drive and kick. Tibiasu trying to shed Theory, somehow is able to, and kisses it off the window.
What? Tibiasu, how do you do? Wow. With 2 seconds on the shot clock, somehow, some way, threw up that moon ball and swooshed it out the window. Man.
Cody McMahon, too powerful, and taken by Emily Fisher, who's played key minutes in this game. Buckeyes
conducting things down here.
The Buckeyes have played in a couple overtime contests the last couple of weeks at home against Minnesota and Iowa. They blasted through those opponents in the extra frame.
They tried to bring Michael off that double stagger screen on that weak side. She couldn't free herself.
Cheyenne Sellers bullying her way to the rim.
Just giving you every ounce that she can muster.
She was carried off the floor in this game, returned a warrior.
Same with Kennedy Cambridge, who's back out here as well. I mean, no one wants to quit.
Cody McMahon says, you can bully, I can do it too.
Paint fight.
Haley Smichael wrapped up as she gets to the rim and she is fouled. Breathless hustle we're seeing.
I can't stop smiling. I love it. I mean, the energy that both of these teams are collectively bringing to the court, palpable. Look at Cody McMahon sizing up the defense, getting underneath that bottom leg, and getting right into the lane for the completion of that play. I mean, she is just solidly a force.
Smichael, a terrific free throw shooter. She's up to 22 points. For 11th 20-point game this season. And goes 2 for 2.
Sticking with their man-to-man defense. Ohio State sticking with their dribble handoff actions.
McMahon forcing it up and in, propelling her team to the finish line.
It's the same set, right? It's the dribble handoff. with Cody McMahon with a head of steam. Coming back to the strong side for the finish in the paint.
1:45 to play. Playback lining up a three. That's on target. And Emily Fisher, all-out effort to keep it alive. The jump ball called.
Petty overhelped on that one, and lucky for her, that three-point shot was off the mark.
It's actually things up. A timeout by Maryland. Down by 3, 1:38 to play here in overtime. Let's check in with Allison over in LA.
Thanks so much. Well, the battle for the Big 12 regular season title is underway over on FS2 between TCU and Baylor. We'll bring you that game as soon as we're done with this bonus basketball Big Ten action in College Park.
Thanks, Allison. Looking forward to that one, but we have quite the finish on tap today in College Park between number 12, Ohio State, number 19, Maryland. Just a three-point game with 1:38 remaining in overtime. How about this, Christy? First overtime game at home for the Terrapins since February 2008, Crystal Langhorne's senior day.
Yep, and she's in the building. For this game, there was a moniker that Maryland utilized during that season, and it was overtime is our time. We'll see if that still stands here in College Park. There's C. Lang, Crystal Langhorne, and Marissa Coleman sitting courtside here at the Xfinity Center.
Diane Sellers trying to back down Kennedy. Cambridge rips it free. Smichael, yes! No one loves the big moment more than Kayleen Smichael. Timeout, Ohio State, after Kayleen Smichael just tied up this game in overtime.
Let's take a look and see how they were able to organize in the quarter court to get Kayleen Smichael, who has been on extra.
For me, the stress and the tenseness of that moment.
And they took Cheyenne Sellers out, maybe an offensive defensive substitution for her because of her mobility.
That's a good point here. McLean checking in. She's also playing with 4 personals, and they turn it over. It's Maryland basketball.
Just overthrew Cody McMahon on that play.
And after a timeout is Christy.
That's what sprouts gray hairs for coaches.
1 minute remaining in overtime. Smichael behind the back, forces it up too strong, and Petty right there to rip it off the rim. Madison Green stepped up perfectly in the absence of Jelani Cambridge. Maybe no one you trust more in this situation.
They're not switching, they're staying locked to their primary matches here.
Man sizing up her defender. Fisher going right into her, gets it right back, and earns the foul.
There's the offensive boards that Kevin McGuff said he wanted to take away from Maryland. Maryland had their way with it in the first half, but right here, Cody McMahon with that dribble bump space mechanism on that play, that second chance opportunity, did Fisher in.
She is done for today as well. The second Terrapin to foul out, along with Christina Dowsey. McMahon to shoot. Well, this season she's a 65% shooter. McMahon no good on the second, and Sellers calls a timeout.
Oh boy, now they can
to propel themselves into the top 16 to host in the NCAA tournament.
Here they go, they're just going straight for it.
Tiviasu goes right to the rim. And Maryland leads by 1.
Well, all right. Just get straight to it then. We're not taking any time off the clock. We're going straight to the cup. So it was a clear out. Tiviasu did get the ball, so that was the only part of what I said that was correct. But she just said, listen, I'm going to get a straight line drive. Madison Green gets beaten off the dribble, and she just finishes nicely with no weak side help. Petty too late. Easy bucket. And look at the wide eyes. Look at she's touching her temples like, I got this. Dulcie with the shoulder lead. Man. My goodness.
What a contest this has been. It's Ohio State basketball. Shot clock is off. 26.5 seconds left. Sarah Tibiasu, she knows she can score. Wanted the ball in that moment with a banged up Cheyenne Sellers. And already down a starter due to fouling out. That ball was kicked. Now 25.9 seconds on the clock.
Sarah Tibiasu, she told us, she said, I want to be confident against their pressure. That's what she told us today after shoot-around, and that was the most confident move of the game for her by far. Big time.
12 points for Tibiasu in 40-plus minutes. Theory will give it up to Green. They put it in the hands of Kennedy Cambridge into the pin. She is stopped. Will float it up and in. No, it's Maryland basketball.
And Kevin McGuff is incensed.
Was that a jump ball call? So Maryland now in control. Petty guarding the inbounder. They go into Tibiasu.
Gotta foul quickly.
They do to Playback.
Maybe not Cody McMahon.
And that is Cody McMahon's fifth.
Well, that's when you foul right here. Like Madison Green was right here with Petty. One of those two had to tag Tibiasu. He had the ball up top.
Tibiasu is a fantastic free throw shooter. Maybe that playing into that decision too, but you're right.
Man.
Jelani Cambridge and Cody McMahon on the bench fouled out.
You got to take one for Cody, right? You got to keep Cody on the floor. He'll give you a chance on the other side.
Playback upset it herself, missing the first. Door still open. Makes the second. Ohio State, no timeouts, can't advance the basketball. Shot clock is off. Down by 2. Green slips, loses her footing, gets it back. The reverse is good. Maryland basketball. 5 seconds to go. Tied up at 90. Tibiasu. Will be taking it out for Ohio State. Full court man-to-man pressure for the Terrapins. Kennedy Cambridge will loft, will come close, and Maryland pulls it out to close the regular season.
What an amazing sequence of events. Madison Green with the Harlem Globetrotters slide on the knee, and then a reverse and a deuce off the glass. And then right here, Sarah Tibiasu, how do you do? Oh, she's just fine from 3.